Продовжуємо роботу.
We continue our working day at Ukraine Crisis Media Center, and I give the floor to Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk, Ministry of Defense spokesman on ATO-related issues with information about events in the east of Ukraine. Welcome on stage. Good afternoon, everyone. Now, the information about the events in the ATO area during the last 24 hours. Yesterday, the enemy proved that they do not adhere to agreements concerning full and comprehensive ceasefire starting in 24th of December. The enemy continued to shell Ukrainian positions, the main flash spots during the last week in the Lugansk area. There is violation of ceasefire in the evening. The enemy used under-barrel grenade launchers and shelled Ukrainian positions near Stanitsa Luganska, the Donetsk area. Lion's share of shelling there was in the region of Svetlodarsk Bulge, where the enemy actively used grenade launchers and small arms. And after 9 in the evening, the militants started to shell Ukrainian positions with the use of mortars for 1.5 hours. And in the Donetsk area, there was one armed provocation in Zaitsev and Opetne, and also twice in Avdiivka. The occupants opened fire at the positions of Ukrainian forces. The enemy didn't use heavy weapons, and in the evening, enemy sniper was active near Avdiivka production area. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk area, there were 12 enemy shelling, including one with use of mortars. And the Mariupol area, the most tense situation is in Shirokina, where for the 24 hours the militants used all the spectrum of weaponry except Grad systems. And according to the estimates of General Staff, yesterday the militants launched about 100 mortar mines and 20 artillery shells. 3 times in Shirokina, the militants opened fire with the use of tank and weaponry of armored vehicles. Also, the enemy was active in Marinka, Novotroitska, Pavlopol, Talakivka, and Vodyane, except Talakivka, where the enemy launched 10 mortar mines. The enemy didn't use heavy weapons in this area. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in Mariupol area, there were 24 enemy shelling, including 10 with the use of heavy weapons. Yesterday, in the region of ATO forces recorded 4 flights of reconnaissance flights of air drones of the enemy. During the last 24 hours, and the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, 2 servicemen were wounded, and 2 servicemen were taken in enemy's captivity near Bakhmutska highway. And the military intelligence service informs that at one of the frontline positions of the enemy, so-called 7th Brigade, there was armored clash between drunk militants and officers who came to carry out checks. 1 militant was killed and several were wounded. Now, information about training. And the latest military training on the way, and in Khersonsk region there was 3-day meeting of commanders of tank detachments. Experienced officers shared their experience of military actions in the east of Ukraine. Tankmen studied how to command the detachments in the course of military actions and how to destroy imaginary enemy over open site and over closed site. And on the eve of New Year, Ukrainian servicemen took part in the organization of celebrations for school children in Solidar city in Donetchina. And the military, together with school children, sang carols, and then they got from children presents symbolic photo albums about friendship between Ukrainian school children and servicemen who defend Ukraine. Do you have questions? Thank you.
Немає. Дякую, пане полковнику.
Thank you, Colonel Traditionally, next briefing with the updates will be at 12:30 tomorrow. Next event is at 1.